I recently got a new model F62 reproduction keyboard from monolefkeyboards.com. I think that's what it is anyway. And I got the solenoid option with it. There's no way to mount it. I mean, it came with this little L-shaped thing, but I think it's meant for a beam spring keyboard maybe. And anyway, it's not really any good way to mount it. Originally I was using this, I used a bit of double-sided tape, but I decided to design a model in FreeCAD and then 3D print that to have it mounted. So the model was too big to print in two parts, but this is the first side, and this is the second side. And the idea is that it attaches via the screw holes that the feet go through, and I'm going to use feet with my keyboard. I've got these feet with it. I also got these smaller ones because I wasn't sure which size I would want, but I definitely like these ones more. I like to have my keyboard on a bit of an angle. And anyway, we'll assemble it to give you an idea of how it works. So the solenoid has this adjustable throw on it, and you screw the screws in there to keep it in place. And so the solenoid just it just fits in here, but I had to drill this bit out because it was I made a number of models and I made it too small on this final model, but since I printed it with much more infill, I'm not going to print another one, but I've adjusted it on the in the FreeCAD file so that it should fit without needing to be modified. But anyway, the connector for the solenoid just goes through here, and that keeps it out of the way of this connector. And then this will be a bit hard. It's a bit hard to get it through this bit, but it goes through this piece. This will probably take a second. I could probably widen this a bit, but it does actually fit just. And FreeCAD's pretty hard to use and I'm not very good at using it, so my model's a bit kind of the way the hierarchy for how the model's kind of put together is a bit messed up, so it's kind of hard to edit. I went through a little bit easier on the last one I printed. This one, for whatever reason, it's a little bit tighter. Anyway, so this slots in here. I'll just move this wire out of the way a bit more. And so the idea is once it's screwed in, it screws in from both sides, and you can adjust this before you tighten the screws on this side to adjust the throw. I like having a bit more throw because it gives a bit more of a thud when it actuates, but I don't like it in the fully sort of position where it can fully extend because it isn't quite fast enough. I'm not the fastest typer, but I can probably do between 60 and 70 words per minute, and I think it's good to have it just a little bit tighter than right at the end. So that should, we might loosen it a bit. Something like that should probably be good. And I printed a number of different models. I think this is the 7th one I printed. I only printed a couple, or actually I've only printed one so far for this other side, because most of the hard work was getting this to fit, the solenoid to fit in it well and fit in the case well. And also these could have come out kind of like a bit of a flange, and so when they go into these holes, it'll stop this from kind of moving around and scraping against the side of the hole, so it'll be sort of held more firmly in the center. And the solenoid driver just goes in like this. Push it down, and then you once it's pushed in properly, just I don't want to put too much pressure on that part, just slide it across. It sort of clicks in place, but I've also made a hole here for a screw hole. If I had some threaded inserts, I might consider altering the model so that I could insert the threaded inserts just using a soldering iron, and then, because at the moment just got this kind of little bolt that I sawed the end off, but it should work alright. Putting this washer in to give it a bit of space, because the bolt is slightly too long. So this is what it looks like with everything installed. And this piece of wire, or these two wires, will fit in here. I haven't checked, these need to be plugged in a specific way, but I haven't checked if they're if I'm plugging them in correctly yet, because I've just putting this together for demonstration purposes. And this piece, because it was too long, as I said, to print in one go, I made this sort of kind of jigsaw looking bit, and it'll slide together, and again, I won't do it right now, but I'll probably super glue those together, but the fit's fairly good, and so now I can just insert it. Actually, before I insert it, you need to put the wire through these hooks before you insert it, because the hooks are flush with the bottom of the case. So I need to put the actual, I guess, the keyboard proper in the keyboard. And it should just click in. We've got one side in and the other side. Now, if you turn it, or if I turned it clear down, you can see how these are sort of flush, almost flush with the bottom. Just a little bit recessed so that they don't, so that the feet can be flush against the bottom. And then the final thing would be to install the feet before we put on the top of the case. It's a bit tricky to hold the the actual keyboard inside its case while I'm working with these screws. Probably would have been a good idea to adjust the model so that the screws fit into it, or the bolts. roller. Although I don't think it's really necessary. I generally like to screw things pretty tight. I also put some washers inside the feet. Oh, I didn't realize I had two in there. To take a bit of the load off of any individual point on the rubber, reduce it. So as you can see, it's pretty solid in there, and that's without this piece glued, obviously. You can see I'm definitely going to have to adjust the model. Can't actually plug it in. Anyway, I will need to fix that. However, apart from that issue that probably should have been obvious, it generally works very well. I'll just take this off so that I can fit it in. You can see that it fits. Well, it would appear that I'll have to adjust the model in more than one place, and though I didn't realize it, this may be a way to mount the solenoid, but I didn't even realize it before I made the model. Anyway, apart from the two adjustments that I'll have to make, I'm very pleased with it. I think it works quite well, and the adjusted versions of the models and also these versions will be on my GitHub, which you can find from my website, which will be linked in the description. Thanks for watching.